Next weekend, the unthinkable happened. The nation's capital was invaded from the skies. 7 unknown blips suddenly appeared on radar at Washington National Airport. Air traffic controllers at both Andrews and Bolling Air Force bases confirmed the objects as they danced through restricted airspace.
Capitol building, the White House where the president lived, these were some of the most important places in the country when it comes to national defense. And there were UFOs violating this airspace, and there was nothing that the Air Force could do about it.
F-94 interceptors were scrambled. Pentagon press liaison Al Chop was in the radar room that night.
We could see the planes coming in on this radar scope. The minute we saw the beginning of these guys, UFOs disappeared. They just left. They obviously, whatever these things were, had intelligence enough to get out of the area when we had an intercept going in.
But the next weekend, it began again. Pilot William Patterson pushed his Starfire jet to maximum speed to try to intercept one of the glowing objects.
Flew right into the middle of 3 or 4 of them.
Al Chop recalls the pilot's panicky air-to-ground transmission as he streaked at 600 miles per hour into a group of unknowns.
He actually said, "They're closing in on me. What do I do?" It was frightening.
The Air Force had just issued orders to shoot down the unknowns if, quote, they can't talk them down.
I was going to tell an Air Force pilot to fire at the damn thing or anything. What? I didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. And then all of a sudden, things began to move away from him. And he said, "They're gone." I'm convinced they're solid objects. I'm convinced that they're probably from another planet or from outer space somewhere. I've always felt that way since that night.
The very next day, the Air Force's top brass hastily prepared the largest Pentagon press conference since World War II. Seen here in a last-minute huddle, General Roger Ramey, Air Force Director of Operations at the Pentagon. Captain Edward Ruppelt of Project Blue Book, the Air Force's official UFO investigations arm, and Director of Air Force Intelligence, General John Samford.
Since 1947, we have received and analyzed between 1,000 and 2,000 reports that have come to us from all kinds of sources. Of this great mass of reports, we have been able adequately to explain the great bulk of them. However, there have been a certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things. We can say that the recent sightings are in no way connected with any secret development by any department of the United States.
In the Q&A with reporters, Samford suggested a 50-50 chance it could have been radar waves bouncing off temperature inversions.
The point that Samford put across all too effectively was that they were not real. They were just tricks of the atmosphere. And atmospheric phenomena can't be a threat to national security. You don't shoot at clouds.
The public was pondering the implications of possible extraterrestrial contact.
Robert L. Farnsworth, president of the United States Rocket Society, urged defense officials not to permit our planes to fire at any flying saucers. He says this might alienate mankind from beings of far superior forces. Farnsworth feels that friendly contact should be sought as long as possible.
Behind the scenes, the CIA had other concerns. A secret internal memo urged immediate attention to unexplained objects in the vicinity of major U.S. defense installations.
I would dare say, if anything happened that we thought was a threat to our national security, somebody out there, one of the services, would respond to it.